What would the year 2024 look like according to NHL 18? Now, we've already done this a few times. We did it with 15. We did it with 17. Heck, we even did it with NHL 20 a few days ago. So I thought, what better game to come to than the one with the best player of all time on the cover, Connor McDavid, here in NHL 18. And we are going to simulate up to current day. But before we go ahead and do so, we do have to take a look at the landscape of the NHL at the moment. Now, the roster is going to look massively different compared to 2024. Obviously, we got a 32-year-old Getzlaf with Lindholm and Perry still on the roster. Moved to Arizona. Ekman Larson is there. Derek Stepan, Goligoski. Boston still has a big trio with Pasta, Marchand, and Bergeron. Buffalo, an 87 overall. 20-year-old Jack Eichel with Ryan O'Reilly. Hashtag Tim Hortons. Hashtag don't drink and drive. Ristolainen is there. We got Evander Kane still on Buffalo. Johnny Hockey at an 89 overall for the Calgary Flames with an 87 Geo. Sean Monahan is still there. Look at the menu system, by the way. The menus load insanely faster than they do in 24. Patrick Kane, Duncan Keith, and Jonathan Toews are still all on Chicago. Kane's a 91 at 28 years old. We got a young Nathan McKinnon on Colorado at Landy. Tyson Barrie is there. Kerfoot and Nikita Zadorov for Columbus. Zach Werenski is their best player. A 20-year-old is your best player. Tied for the highest overall with Artemi Panarin. Jamie Benn's a 90 with Tyler Seguin still there. We got Dylan Larkin. I mean, Larkin's been alone in Detroit for a very long time. This dude's played in the NHL since he was 18. I think he was like the first teenager in over 2 decades to make the Red Wings roster, and he had a pretty good year. I mean, 23 goals, 45 points, not bad at all. Edmonton has a 20-year-old McDavid, 93, so he's probably already the best player in the world. Draisaitl's only an 87. Clefbaum is still on the roster. He hasn't retired yet. Andrei Sekera, I remember this, man. Milan Lucic, this was the dark times. Still with McDavid, we were still going through dark times. Florida has a young Barkov and Jonathan Huberdeau on the squad. Aaron Ekblad is there. I mean, they got Evgeny Dadonov, Vinny Trocheck, Keith Yandel, and Mark Pysyk. Drew Doughty is a 91 overall at 27 years old. This is probably still peak Doughty. I mean, he started to trail off after this year, so that overall is respectable. I mean, Kopitar's an 89. That's a little disrespect, not going to lie. Ryan Suter is an 89 overall for the Minnesota Wild. That's crazy. I always thought this dude was overrated. No offense to you, Ryan, but you're great defensively, gave nothing offensively, and he used to have like a 94 overall rating in the EA games. I never understood it. Shea Weber is the best on Montreal. We got Patches still here. Jonathan Drouin at an 84. Galchenyuk, who is going to end people's bloodlines. Not yet, though. He's only 23 years old. Still has a ways to go in his lifetime. Roman Josi at an 88 for Nashville. PK Subban is there. Forsberg, Johansson, Taylor Hall. Was this the MVP season? No, it was the MVP year for Taylor Hall. 2018, he won the MVP with this roster, which was not very good. Take a look. Marcus Johansson is their second best player at an 84. We got Severson here, Sami Vatanen. Tavares is still on the Islanders before the Islanders fans burned all of his jerseys. And wow, yeah, take a look, Islanders fans. This is the reason why Johnny T left. Look at your roster. It is completely trash. And I mean, in goal, you have Thomas Greiss as your starting goaltender. The Rangers will have their captain, Ryan McDonough, at an 87 overall. Kevin Shattenkirk is there. Wow, this Rangers team really isn't developed yet. Not great, to be honest. Erik Karlsson still in his prime at a 92 overall, fresh off of that playoff run he had with Ottawa. Mark Stone is there. Duchesne is on the team still. Derek Brassard and Mike Hoffman. Voracek is the best player, or tied for the best, with Claude Giroux on the Philadelphia Flyers at an 88 overall. For Pittsburgh, we still have Crosby, tied for the highest in the game with McDavid at a 93. Malkin's a 92. Phil Kessel, somebody sign this man in real life to a PTO, please. 88 overall. He was a monster. Hornquist, 84. Gensel's only an 83, but he was still very young at this point. Burns, Pavelski, and Vlasic all on the San Jose Sharks. We have Pietrangelo and Tarasenko for the St. Louis Blues, as well as a younger Braden Shen. Colton Parayko is only 24. Steen is still on the squad. And there's Tampa Bay. Stammer at a 92. Cooch is only a 91. He's not even 25 yet. Victor Hedman's a 90. I mean, Braden Point is only 21 years old. 83 overall. Toronto has an 89 Matthews at 19 years old, with JVR still on the team at an 84. Kadri, 84. Riley. Willie Nee's not really developed, or Mitch Marner, as these guys are very young and still have yet to get out of the first round. Chris Tanev is the best player on the Vancouver Canucks at an 84. This is why I have a problem with Canucks fans going off after one solid season. Y'all were trash for about 5 to 7 years. And the Sedin sisters still in the game, 36 overall, 82 overall piece. They're probably complaining about the refs. James Neal, this was, I believe, the first season of Vegas, where they went all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. Marchessault's in 83. Carlson had that 40-goal season, I remember. This team, statistically, isn't that great, but they performed way above expectations. Alexander Ovechkin, still in his prime at 31 years old, 92 overall with Backstrom and Carlson. This was the season that he finally got it done and took home the Stanley Cup. And for the Winnipeg Jets, I mean, their team hasn't really changed that much, honestly, over the course of their year. I don't think they were that eager to change their players as much as some other teams. Corey Crawford is still the starter of Chicago. We got Varlamov for Colorado. Bobrovsky's still with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Bishop for Dallas. Detroit has Jimmy Howard, dear God. Cam Talbot in Edmonton. Talbot actually had a good season, 16-17. Then the team kind of regressed. Roberto Luongo, my favorite goalie of all time, 86 overall at 38 years old. You don't make goalies like this anymore. Name me a 38-year-old that is an 86 overall. Jonathan Quick, 88 on LA. We got Devin Dubnyk for Minnesota. Price is still in his prime, 92 overall for Montreal. Pekka Rinne for Nashville. We got Corey Schneider for the Devils. The Kings still in New York at an 88. Ottawa has Craig Anderson. Man, Craig Anderson was the goalie for Ottawa for a very long time. Brian Elliott for the Flyers. Matt Murray with Pittsburgh, 87 overall. Martin Jones for San Jose. Jones wasn't bad. Allen for St. Louis. We got Vasi, who's only 23 years old at an 86 for Tampa Bay. Toronto has Freddie Anderson. Vancouver has a younger Markstrom. I mean, he's 27 years old, not that young. Fleury in Vegas, obviously, and we got Braden Holtby at a 90 for Washington. Connor Hellebuyck still on the Winnipeg Jets. Now it is time to go ahead and simulate up to current day. Before we do that, if you guys do enjoy NHL content, subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you get notified when I go live or when I post a video. I'm not going to lose my mind right now, but this simulation is going incredibly fast right now. If I'm not mistaken, it feels a lot faster than NHL 24. This game was released like almost 7 years ago. We got the Calgary Flames winning the President's Trophy and being the best team in the NHL with 49 wins, followed by St. Louis. Pittsburgh was up here, Philly, Nashville, and Tampa. And at the bottom, oh my God, it's so fast I can't even calculate. The Detroit Red Wings, they were bad during this era. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Vladimir Tarasenko is going to have himself a season, leading in goals with 50 and points with 86. Jamie Benn had 83. Johnny Hockey was up there with 82. Sagan had a good season. Patches, 81. Ovi was pretty good as well. And if we take a look at the goal side, other than Tarasenko, Ovi had 47. John Tavares had 40. Stammer, 39. Perry, 36. I took a look at Connor McDavid, and even at a 93 overall, tie for the highest overall in the game, 27 goals and 64 points. He definitely never used to simulate very good. I mean, he still doesn't simulate as accurate as he probably should, but 27 goals and 64 points. McDavid has literally never done that in his entire career. We got Mike Smith leading in wins for goalies with 45. Hellebuyck at 41. Rene 40. And for the shutouts, let's take a look. Martin Jones had 10 on the season. This was still somewhat the era where goalies did dominate in the NHL games. And here we go. This is our year number 1 playoff bracket. In real life, Washington went all the way. So who's going to do it here in NHL 18? The New York Rangers, with that mid-ass squad that they had, somehow are going to go all the way and beat the Minnesota Wild in 6 games in the finals. I definitely did not expect that, but it's good. We have some unpredictability here in NHL 18. Niederreiter put up 21 points, led the playoffs in scoring. Mikael Granlund had 21. Marian Hossa 20. Hossa still in the game, 39 years old at an 83 overall. Alex DeBrincat at 19, Parise 19, Patty Kane was decent, I guess. Vladimir Tarasenko is going to take home all the major individual awards. We got Brent Burns winning the Norris, the Calder, the Brock Besser, Henrik Lundqvist, the Conn Smythe, Hellebuyck, the Vezina, and Anze Kopitar, the Selke. The Carolina Hurricanes will win the draft lottery as Toronto is 2nd, Dallas 3rd, and Detroit 4th. Paul Stastny is the best free agent available at an 84. Joe Thornton is on the free agent market. I mean, we don't really have Josh Morrissey. He's young, 84 82 overall. He's available. If we take a look at the goalies, we got Antti Raanta at an 84. So free agency looking a little rough here in year number 1. The Pittsburgh Penguins will be the best team in the league this season. 50 wins, 24 losses, 8 in overtime, followed by Chicago, who still has a pretty good core there. Winnipeg was up there, Tampa Bay, Vancouver, and Calgary. And we have the LTIR, yet to be LTIR, but the Vegas Golden Knights in season number 2 of their franchise are going to finish as the worst team in the NHL. Brendan Saad is going to lead the NHL in scoring with 92 points, followed by Ovi's 90. Stammer was up there. Kucherov had a pretty good season, although back in the day, I sound like an old man, but back in the day, the scoring was a little bit lower, so we're not even going to have a 100-point score. We might have 1 or 2 over the course of this video, but right now we have none. And for goals, Ovi will lead with 49 on the season. Tarasenko at 48, Kane 47. McDavid finally have a good year with 44 goals. And if we take a look at the goalies, we got Corey Crawford leading in wins with 41. Antti Raanta had 40, Hellebuck 39. And for shutouts, Craig Anderson will put up 12 in the same season. Allen had 11. Bobby Lou at 40 put up 9. And now this was the season that the St. Louis Blues went on and won the Stanley Cup. Their miraculous run from dead last in the NHL to Stanley Cup champions. The Carolina Hurricanes will sweep Chicago in the Cup Finals to take home Lord Stanley. They're not prohibitive choke artists anymore because they got it done way earlier. St. Louis, they made the second round but lost to the Blackhawks. Alexander Wenberg only had 1 goal but 22 points, leading the playoffs in scoring. Saad had 21. Your mom's a hoe was up there. Patty Kane. We got Victor Rask and Cam Atkinson. Brendan Saad will take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Ovi the Maurice Richard. The Norris will go to Brent Burns. We got Alex Nylander winning the Calder. Scott Darling the Conn Smythe. Bob the Vezina. And Patrice Bergeron will win the Selke. The New Jersey Devils will win the NHL Draft Lottery. Buffalo came in second and the Vegas Golden Knights in third. Now the free agent class here in year 2 is a little bit better. We got Blake Wheeler at an 89 overall. Artemi Panarin's an 87. Derek Brassard is available. Jake Gardiner, Leafs legend. Jordan Eberle is there. Tyler Myers. And for the goalies, Cam Talbot, the best available at an 87. Fleury's available. Steve Mason, Ryan Miller. The Pittsburgh Penguins will go back-to-back with the President's Trophies, 51, 24, and 7 record. We get the Rangers up there. They won the Cup, I believe, in year 1. Washington, 47 wins. Dallas was up here. Carolina, Vancouver, Calgary. And the Boston Bruins were the worst team in the NHL, followed by Detroit, Florida, and LA. McDavid put up 98 points and 46 goals. He would have not the most goals. That would be Jack Eichel, who had 49, Ovi 47, McKinnon 46, McDavid 46, and the mom killer Corey Perry had 45. But on the point side, I mean, Jack Eichel 94, Kucherov was up there, Sagan had a good season, Breadman, who is on the Buffalo Sabres, he must have signed there. Stammer had 87, Draisaitl 87, finally breaking out as an elite forward. Matt Murray had the most wins by a goaltender with 43, followed by Lundqvist 41, as well as Jake Allen. And on the shutout side, Pekka Rinne had the most at 9, but he ain't got fucking shite on Le Pekka Pasta. Now we move on to the bubble playoffs. This is when Tampa Bay started their back-to-back, won their first ring in the bubble. Obviously, we had the pandemic, but none of that here. Ovechkin got oh so close to winning his first Stanley Cup, but lost to Chicago in 6 games as they're going to win another one. They're 4th in the 2010s. Now, technically the 2020s, but still, they are literally a dynasty. 4 cups for Taves and Kane. Alexander Ovechkin tore up in the postseason, 14 goals, 25 points. Patty Kane had 24. Saad, who has been producing at basically an elite level this entire video. Nikita Kucherov had 21. Johnny Hockey and Carlson both had 20. And you know what? Screw it. I'll take a look at the goalies here. Obviously, Corey Crawford, 16, 5, and 3 with a 942. Sagan will take home the Ted Lindsay and Hart Trophy. Art Ross to McDavid. Jack Eichel to Maurice Richard. We got Erik Karlsson winning the Norris. Sammy Steele will win the Calder. Corey Crawford, the Conn Smythe. Matt Murray, the Vezina. And the Selke will go to Le Connor McDavid. The defending Stanley Cup champions in real life, Florida, will win the draft lottery here in 2020. Anaheim gets second via Vegas, Detroit third, and the Bruins fourth. Torrey Krug is the best UFA available at an 85 overall. We get Toffoli available, Chris Tanev, Connor Sheary, Mark Pysyk, Mike Green is still there. And if we take a look at the goalies, Steve Mason at an 83 overall. The Vancouver Canucks will be the best team in the NHL this season, 54-21-7, followed by Washington, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and Philly. Connor McDavid is going to have himself a season. 66 goals, 122 points, leading in both categories, followed by Ovi's 96. Jamie Benn had 90. Stamkos is good, as well as John Tavares and Ovechkin, another 60-goal scorer. Finally, the scoring is increasing. Demko will have the most wins at 46 and the most shutouts, tied with Bobby Lou at 10. Bobby Lou's 42 years old, putting up 10 shutouts at a 79 overall. That is absolutely insane. Now, this is the back-to-back year for Tampa Bay in 2021 when they beat Le Montreal in the Stanley Cup Finals. Ain't no way I lived to see the day that the Arizona Coyotes from the Bay won Lord Stanley, sweeping Buffalo in the Stanley Cup Finals. Call me Shakespeare because I am built like that. Ovi had a great playoff run, 18 goals, 26 points. Backstrom had 22, Strome had 21, and Jack Eichel had 20. Connor McDavid pegged me last night. The Norris will go to John Carlson, the Calder to Choco, Conn Smythe to Cam Talbot, Vezina to Demko, and Philip Zadina on the Toronto Maple Leafs will take home the Selke Trophy. Tampa Bay will take home the draft lottery in the year in real life, where they were fresh off of back-to-back Stanley Cups. Moving on to the next season, we get the New Jersey Devils finishing at the top, 52, 25, and 5. Carolina had 51 wins. Columbus was up there, Vancouver, and Winnipeg. Connor McDavid yet again is going to have a great season, leading in goals with 50. He also had the most points at 111, followed by Kane's 91. Eichel had 88, and Brendan Saad has been tearing up this video. 25 goals, 83 points. Corey Schneider had the most wins at 43, and the most shutouts will be a tie between Fitzpatrick and Jonathan Quick. Both had 11. This was the playoff run where Colorado was literally a step above entirely the whole NHL. They were just on a different level, honestly, and they went on and won the cup. The Philadelphia Flyers will beat my Oilers in the Stanley Cup Finals in 6 games. Oh, I'm so disappointed. We were so close in the McDavid era. Connor McDavid is also still pegging me. We got the Norris going to Drew Doughty. The Conn Smythe will go to Brian Elliott. The Vezina to Bob, and the Selke to Connor McDavid yet again. So we are seeing a lot of Conn Smythe trophies. Every Conn Smythe trophy so far has been won by a goaltender because goalies were OP back in the day. It was just the way it was. The Beantown Bruins will take home the draft lottery win as they're going to select first overall. LA came second and Detroit third. Tampa Bay Lightning will finish as the best team in the NHL this year, 55, 24, and 5. We got Buffalo up there with 52 wins somehow. I mean, they do have a prime Jack Eichel on their squad. Colorado is good, Winnipeg, and Washington as well. Steven Stamkos, holy hell, 67 goals, 109 points, tied with McDavid for the most points, but he clearly had the most goals at 67. Ovi and McDavid both had 55 apiece, and Tarasenko put up a 50-goal season. We got Braden Holtby with the most wins at 45, and Nedeljkovic will have the most shutouts for Carolina at 12. This was probably the worst playoff run of all time, where the Vegas Golden Cheaters went on and won the Stanley Cup in real life. The Columbus Blue Jackets will get the job done as they bullied Colorado in 5 games in the Cup final. I mean, we are pretty far in the simulation. Maybe they upgraded their team, but they clearly got a lot better. Stamkos will take home the Ted Lindsay, Maurice Richard, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Pietrangelo, the Norris. The Conn Smythe will go to Bobrovsky, Holtby, the Vezina, and the Selke to Zadina. This is what I mean, man. Now you can't get a goalie in NHL 24 to take home the Conn Smythe Trophy, but back in 18, literally every Conn Smythe winner so far has been a goaltender. The Buffalo Sabres will be the best team in the league, winning 54 games, followed by Tampa Bay. Carolina was up there, Pittsburgh, and Edmonton. The top 5 for the final season of the video. McDavid will have the most points in the NHL at 112. Also the most goals. He had 49. Tyson Jost put up 45 tucks. Line had 43. Maroon 42. And on the point side, I mean, Svechnikov at 94, Scheifele was decent, Sagan, Line, Ehlers were all up there. And we all are very familiar with this playoff run. It literally just happened a few months ago. Edmonton, Florida finals. Let's see who does it here in NHL 18. And the Vegas Golden Knights will go all the way, beat Tampa Bay in 6 games to win their first cup in franchise history. Ted Lindsay and Maurice Richard will both go to Jack Eichel, as well as the Hart Trophy. Art Ross to McDavid, the Norris to Erik Karlsson. Malcolm Subban will win the Conn Smythe. Can we get a player maybe winning the Conn Smythe Trophy? Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen will win the Vezina and the Selke to Connor McDavid. Well, that will do it for this video. We simulated up to current day, and I mean, needless to say, a lot has changed with the EA Sports simulation. The goalies absolutely dominated. They literally won every Conn Smythe trophy. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you leave some support on it. I would like to say thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.